Good morning, everyone. This is meteorologist Shane Hinton hopping onto our digital platforms to give you an update on the severe weather risk that we're going to be keeping a very close eye on here in the KVUE Weather Center, specifically Friday evening through early Saturday morning. Now, we do have some updates for you since last night, especially from the Storm Prediction Center in regard to our severe weather risk. So let's go ahead and pull it up full for you. You can see that now a majority of central Texas now falls under a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for severe weather. The areas on your screen shaded in yellow, which include all of the hill country, most of the I-35 corridor, most of Caldwell County, and about a fourth of Bastrop County will have our highest risk of severe weather, with a marginal risk east of I-35. Here are the main concerns as we go throughout the next, I'd say, 20 hours or so. Let me kind of bring this up full for you here and kind of point everything out. Our main concern is going to be the possibility of large hail developing within some of these strong storms. Also can't rule out some damaging wind gusts, and unfortunately there is going to be the possibility of some tornadoes, but those are going to be very isolated in nature. And because of our saturated grounds from last week's rain, we are going to be monitoring the potential for some minor flooding as we head into the overnight hours. So let's take a look at the hail outlook. You'll see the area shaded in yellow indicating a 15 to 29% chance of it actually occurring. Something that recently updated a little while ago this morning. You now see this hatched area, or the black diagonal lines. That's in basically talking about a significant chance of storms developing that could contain some large hail. This is right outside of San Antonio, so we'll have to continue to monitor this to see if this trend does expand or shift as we get more high-resolution forecast model data a little bit later this morning. Now we take a look at the wind outlook. You can see that this is about a 5% chance throughout all of central Texas, and even extending down to South Texas and up to North Texas. Taking a look at the tornado outlook, you'll see it very much is on the low end, but the chances are not zero. Green is indicating a 2% chance. Let's take a look overall and let me kind of break down what this system is. We have this upper level disturbance. You can see that trough. Sometimes we'll refer to weather patterns as ridges and troughs. Troughs usually indicate more unsettled weather patterns. That's what you're seeing with those white lines that are making that little bow shape here. Now it is starting to tilt a little bit, and what's going to happen is an area of low pressure is going to develop and then swing through North Texas and spark up some showers and storms as we make our way into the latter half of the day. Now, there will be a cold front that's associated with this area of low pressure, but we're not expecting colder temperatures from it. We're just expecting windy conditions from it as we head into your weekend. Right now, we are tracking a fairly quiet start to the day with some rather patchy to dense fog, mostly along and east of I-35. Just utilize those low beam headlights if you do interact with any of it. Temperatures starting right now in the upper 50s to lower 60s, with maybe a little bit of isolated light drizzle or mist out there on the radar. Let me go ahead and pull this up full for you so you can see this timeline together with me. As we make our way through the midday hours, could we see an isolated sprinkle or two? Yes, but the severe weather risk doesn't arrive just yet. We'll maybe track some scattered showers. Can't rule out an isolated rumble of thunder for the early afternoon hours, but it's between the hours of 7 p.m. and 4 a.m. when we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for any severe storms. There is the potential of a couple of rounds, the first of which would be moving in from the west at around 7 p.m., moving through the I-35 corridor by around 9 or 10 o'clock, and then that pushes out to the coastal plains. High-resolution forecast models are still hinting at a second round that could arrive overnight while you're sleeping. This is at 1:30 in the morning. As we push through the 4 a.m. hour is whenever we could see those stronger storms moving through the I-35 corridor and coastal plains, and then clearing out of the area by around sunrise or even 8 a.m. on Saturday. Now let's take a look at some of the projected rainfall totals. This is just one of many different high-resolution forecast models. It's hinting at anywhere from a few tenths of an inch of rain to maybe some isolated locations receiving over 2 inches of rain. Keep in mind, areas along and east of I-35 are the ones that saw the most rainfall from these previous rain events, and that's where I think our flood risk will be highest. For today, we are going to be monitoring fairly pleasant temperatures, upper 60s to lower 70s, but it will stay on the cloudier side. We'll also start to get breezier as well, with winds at about 5 to 15 miles per hour and gusts up to 20. Overnight tonight, we'll have those showers and storms push through. Temperatures drop only into the 40s and 50s across central Texas. And as we take a look at your weekend forecast, we can expect it to be fairly pleasant. In fact, I do see those showers moving out of here before many of you start your day on Saturday. Now, we are still expecting highs to make it to around 70 degrees on Saturday, maybe just a couple of degrees lower on Sunday. However, it is worth noting that Sunday is going to be the windiest of the days in our forecast. In fact, we could see gusts up to 35 miles per hour possible, and we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for any potential wind advisories. I would go ahead and encourage you to pull in any loose objects in your yard tonight before, really even this morning or later this afternoon when you get home from work if you can, because some of the storms tonight could have some strong winds associated with them, but definitely have them pulled in for the weekend by Sunday, as we could have that potential wind advisory. We will also have to see how the wind impacts our allergy count, because usually whenever we have breezy conditions from the north, like what we're going to be expecting Sunday into Monday, well, we see cedar levels increase. And right now, cedar is now slowly tapering off after peaking earlier this week. It's in the medium category for today. Something for my allergy sufferers, if you're sensitive to oak, it is worth noting that I saw just the smallest trace of oak on our allergy count today, but we're still very early on in the season, so don't get too scared just yet, okay? As we take a look at your 7-day forecast, you will notice that our temperatures are still fairly pleasant today and through the weekend. We will see that northerly wind usher in some cooler air to kick off next week. That's why our highs are only in the lower 60s and maybe overnight lows dropping into the 30s and 40s. Then we see another warming trend take place, and that will push us back up into the upper 60s to lower 70s for the back half of next week, where we could see some additional rain chances start to slide right back into the area. So once again, kind of highlighting or summarizing things one last time, our main concern that we are going to be focused on tonight will be the potential for some stronger storms developing. I think the highest likelihood of this is going to be the highest likelihood for stronger storms, I should say, is going to be along and west of I-35, but the high-res forecast models are still hinting at the possibility of us seeing some of those strong storms push into the coastal plains. The time frame for you as of now is between 7 o'clock this evening and 4 o'clock Saturday morning. However, that timeline could change if we see the system speed up. The best way for you to stay up to date with all of the timeline information is either through our KVUE News app, which is free to download. If you download it from the App Store, you can get alerted if there are any warnings issued, which would be great since we do have these storms pushing through overnight while many folks are sleeping. You can also stay up to date with the forecast on air by watching KVUE. You can also check us out on KVUE Plus, which is on your streaming devices such as Fire TV, Roku, and also now on Apple TV. And then also you can check out our weather blog on KVUE.com. We are updating it throughout all of our shifts. We have multiple meteorologists who are going to be watching around the clock overnight and then early through tomorrow as well to make sure that you are staying informed. Until our next stream, we hope you stay safe. Have a fantastic Friday, and we will continue to keep you up to date on the latest here in the KVUE Weather Center.